Look at them. There they are. Sean,
Let's go.
Corey, Jennifer, iPhone. Great to see you, iPhone. Would love to see your names if you have a chance. Also, if you are able to share video, I love interacting. It just makes these experiences feel more exciting. What's up? Sean knows what's up. Thanks for joining us,
Yeah.
Sean. Jennifer, thanks for turning on your video. This is our inaugural coaching session, and my goal is to make this a long-term feature that's included with Agent CRM. It's great to have all the tools that are available, but if you don't know how to use them, that's a real bummer. And we want to make
Mhm.
sure that you're not just getting the value for your subscription. We also want to see your businesses thrive. And some of the tools that are included, those who put them to use are seeing dramatic scaling in their business through offloading tedious tasks to automations in AI, or even just maximizing their pipeline. I know, Alex, that's a big thing. You're all about maximizing
Yep.
your pipeline value. So, Alex, what do you want to say as we kick off? I feel like we need champagne or
Yeah, I know,
something.
right?
Got a
Yeah.
cup of tea.
Everyone pour a glass. I know you guys are awesome. You are the action takers who saw this coaching session and was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a try. I'm gonna dedicate a part of my Friday to hearing what the heck Will and Alex have to say and how they're gonna help me. So I really appreciate that. I value each and every one of you for jumping in here. I want to start by two things. Number one, um, the future of Agent CRM. We are really leaning in to more and more pre-built assets, which we call the branding bundles. So we're going to be talking about that on all these coaching sessions. That's really going to be the bedrock of these coaching sessions is like what's in the branding bundles, how do you use it, and then getting your feedback, right? Like, hey, like I'm using the branding bundle. Here's what I think it could add. You'd be like, here's what is missing. Like we love that feedback. The second thing is how we can really grow with new technology. So you'll hear us in these coaching sessions talk about some of the things that are coming out soon. So like Agent AI, we're going to be adding improvements on that. We'll be coming out with some cool voice AI stuff next quarter. We got some great partnerships that we're working on. You saw us release one last month with Retire Flow. We got some more that we'll be releasing soon as we work with them and finalize everything. So these coaching sessions are all about you guys jumping in. We're going to spend some time literally showing you step by step how to take action with what we've built out and the partnerships that we have. The goal is that these are action calls. This is not, I'm going to listen and learn calls. This is like, okay, like my goal would be for someone like my man Sean. You post so many good questions in the Facebook group. We want to be like, all right, Sean asked this question. Let's pop open, Agent CRM and let's build this out together. Let's show you how to do it. That way, Sean could be watching us on Zoom, but at the same time, have Agent CRM open in his browser and taking action on what we're going over. So, less of an educational, although that's going to happen. It's more of like, how can we, like, for 45 minutes, let's build with Alex and Will. Maybe that's what we call these new calls,
Yeah.
Will. Like, let's build with Alex and Will. Like,
Action
let's actually
calls.
jump in and yeah, and do some cool stuff together. So, so that's the
Yeah.
goal. So,
Perfect. Hey,
and
let's
I,
get some information to get started
yeah,
here. Sorry to cut you off, Alex. What you can continue in a second, but let's hear in the chat below. That's going to be the primary place where we get interaction, just so we don't get too crazy with microphones here. Type in the chat to get us started. What is the primary product that you sell? And also, how long have you been with Agent CRM? Would love to know that. Now, you guys submit a form. I do have some information on my screen here. What did you ask? But even just for each other to know who's in the room today, what are we focusing on? Sean is Medicare. God bless you. I have so much respect for anyone who's doing Medicare right now with all of the changes. So, Sean, you are a boss. John is final expense Medicare 2 months in. Jennifer's mortgage
nice.
protection, life, annuities, estate planning. Awesome, awesome. IULs and retirement. Napier from Napier Financial. Awesome. I think that's Joshua who's joining us here. IULs and retirement. Yeah, perfect. All right. So we got a good spread, actually. We got a little bit of
Yeah,
everything.
I love it. I love it.
So
Well,
So what we're going to do today, based on some of the questions, I think we're going to jump into some marketing and mainly new lead automation review and
mhm.
strategy. But Alex, sorry, I keep cutting you off here. We need a
Yeah, it's
talking
all good,
stick.
man. Yeah. No, pass it back and forth. Before we get started on the actually just diving in and showing you the new lead workflows and answering questions on that. I do want to let you guys know two things. One, um, we are introducing a new Black Friday deal this year to help you all save money on Agent CRM. Check that out. I have a video that kind of walks through the different packages there. We have three different choices. One is a 3-month package that's just designed to save you money on Agent
I'm
CRM.
not getting
This,
Alex's audio. Are you guys hearing him?
oh, can you guys hear me? Is that cool? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, cool. And then we have a 6-month deal. Again, really just maximizing the savings. But then also we have an AI build out. And so if you have not yet had my team build out Agent AI, we put an awesome deal together for that. So that's on the Black Friday page. So for those of you that are using Agent CRM, check that out. It's a great way to save money. But the second thing with those Black Friday deals is it's also a great way for you to make money. So for those of you that are in our affiliate program, um, there is a link that we just sent out to you just a few moments ago, like I think in the last 20 minutes, with your link to promote the Black Friday deal. You'll get a one-time bonus when people do buy one of those deals, but the real moneymaker is in the recurring. So the Agent CRM affiliate program is a monthly recurring revenue stream. And so we're paying some people's mortgages with our affiliate program, which is really cool. But our goal is to help you, grow your business and grow your revenue while in the process you are helping us. And so if you are not currently an affiliate, I'll drop that link in there. These calls are not sales calls, but I do want to make you guys aware of some of the deals that we have and some of the tools that we're giving you to help you grow your revenue. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Will so that he can dive in and start showing us the new lead workflows that we have.
Perfect. I'm just having a little bit of a moment here trying to get my screen share to work. What can you guys see at the moment?
Black. I just see it.
Black?
There it
What about
is.
now?
I see the Black Friday promo.
Right. So I'm doing some weird things on me this morning. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right. Maybe let's try that. I can't even see myself while I'm talking, so Alex, interrupt me at any point. Something weird is happening here, but as long as you can see me, we're good to go. So big thing we're going to be talking about today, based on some of the interactions, there's different stages of the relationship, or maybe even different needs of the business. There's, of course, generating leads to begin with. We could talk about referral marketing. We could talk about ad campaigns. We could talk about just reaching out. Some agencies just reach out to your friends. That's kind of their starter recommendation. But then once the lead comes in, what do you do with it? That's the big question that we're going to dive deeper into on this call today. I've got the Medicare. Let's actually go to and play. Alex, which one do you want me to go through?
Let's do
On this
IULs.
call.
Yeah, because that's a new one that we just
Awesome.
released. Let's show off that one.
Perfect. Okay, so if you guys are watching this, we're also potentially going to share this. So if you're watching a replay, this is for you as well. But we're going to the click and play assets just to start with, and I'm going to find the IUL bundle and hit import. Little loading sign. It says it will give you a notification. It won't. It's just going to be there in a minute or so. Go to that automation section. It's going to hit refresh.
Mhm.
Every branding bundle follows the same architecture. The goal was that we could give you something where you could watch this as an IUL agent, you could watch this as a PNC, Medicare, etc. And you're going to find the same series of assets no matter what. Let's do this while we're waiting for the IUL one. You're going to find the same series of assets. 1.0 is always going to be lead gen. 2.0 is always going to be new leads. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I don't do Medicare, it's still relevant to you because it's going to be the same process. I'd love to hear, first of all, in the chat message, can you type yes, I'm using a bundle, just yes, or no? I'd love to know so far who's been jumping onto these new assets. Yes, I'm using a bundle, or no. A bunch of people here, some yeses. I got a no. One thing I'll mention for those who are watching, if your product is not a bundle yet, please share this here and more. What should we release next? I've got a bunch that I'm assuming people will want. I threw pet insurance in there kind of as a joke, but maybe we'll get a surging demand for pet insurance. I know it's a thing. Request other if it's not on the list, and add. This actually maps to a Google Sheet, and I'm tracking every single request. And this is kind of like a voting system for development love. But let's go back here to automations. Mortgage protection next, please. Yes, that's definitely hot on my list, Jennifer.
Mhm.
Have the bundle, but haven't activated the system flow yet. Awesome. So this is going to cover the first. We'll do the Medicare because I need to check out what's happening with the import to this demo account specifically. But you're going to find here lead gen. Now I'm going to go into the first one to begin with. 1 to 7 follows the flow of a lead through their journey with you as an agent. So lead gen is how are you generating the lead? And then you can see it's a new lead. T65 is a bonus one for Medicare. Lead nurture, appointment, sale made. Then we're going to cross sell, then do a referral request, then renewal. So it's a logical step through the journey with you. What we do in these campaigns, you can see we've got a little goofy one I've been playing around with here. The main thing is if you are bringing leads in from somewhere else, you must modify this campaign first. I'm just going to blitz through this piece because we're going to talk about the campaigns themselves. But let's assume that you are generating a lead from Facebook. This is the primary one here. 1.0 lead from Facebook lead or lead vendor. So you choose the trigger. There's always a trigger in a workflow. I'm going to repeat some stuff that doesn't seem obvious. I know I've got some beginners. I've got some different levels here. There's always a trigger. Sometimes there's an exception, but there's usually a trigger, what sets off the chain of events, and then there are actions associated. So if you've got a specific Facebook lead, you're going to have to map that. We don't know by default unless you choose. I know some of you are waiting for the import. I don't know if that's just a lag. We'll be looking into that. Thanks, Jennifer, for reporting. It does take a minute or two. So back to the workflow here. We've got a Facebook form. You gotta make some choices. Which page is connected? Which form? Or if you have a tag, some leads like Kaboom leads, we work with them quite often, and they have standard tags that their API imports with your new lead. It might be like Kaboom lead, Medicare, or whatever it is, you can connect with them. I think we have the list as well. But you would choose what is going to set off the new chain of events. Then you can see we assign it to ourselves. It's going to fire us a notification. Hey, Will, you've got a new lead. I send myself an email, and this one is a text. I like text because I pay attention to them. I do not want to show you my inbox. To be honest, it is a mess. So this is notifications to ourselves. We add a tag ourselves because it also does a few things. And then we add them to the workflow. So this is where the fun starts here. 2.0, your product, i.e. Medicare, IUL, etc., new lead campaign. So this is the entry point. There's different entry points, like if you want to do a text in, I might say, hey, here's my number, text Medicare to 778, etc., for information. So there's different types of ways a lead can come in. Just showed you the lead from Facebook lead or lead vendor as the standard one. Any little asterisks, that always means you got to do something. Does Kaboom leads automatically upload to your workflow? No, you have to add the tag as the trigger. So I can find that list later on. I do have a list somewhere. But you'll probably know as a client of Kaboom leads, you'll actually start seeing when you get those leads, tag will be the tag attached. Let's just do a quick example here. So Will Winter, let's assume tag is, oh, see the IUL stuff finally came in here. Let's just say it's an IUL. I'll make a new tag as an example. Let's say Kaboom. If this was Kaboom leads, they would automatically tag as IUL lead Kaboom. See, and you just see that. Like I can see here, let's refresh. Oh, big exciting thing on the Radar 5 2025 speed updates. You can tell I'm refreshing sometimes because it's not always a live push. Like it's still lagging a bit, but we are just so excited to hear the developers have said, yes, we know we need to do some live and speed stuff. But you saw me add the IUL tag. The tag would be on the right-hand side here once it populates. And I'm going to go into the automation. There's the IUL one. So let's do that. Lead gen, IUL lead from Facebook or lead vendor. And if you know the lead or the tag, you just click on the trigger box, tag, contact tag, add filter, tag added, IUL, IUL, and you got to find IUL lead Kaboom. Save. Now, I always like clean up after yourself, clean up as you go. My wife tries to get me to do this while I'm cooking. She's still training me, clean as you go. But, IUL lead, let's actually call it Kaboom. That way, when you look at the actions, you actually know what the heck is happening. Oh, the trigger is Kaboom IUL lead tag. Steps with wait steps, you can name the action, assigned to Will. Just here, assigned to Will, save. So naming the actions is just a little helpful tip. It doesn't affect the function of the automations, but it's just going to keep things clean long term so that you can make better use of the system. So I didn't save it and it refreshed, so the tag's gone now, but you get the point. When the tag comes in, it becomes the trigger that sets off the chain of events. You got to make sure top right, hit publish, hit save, workflow has been saved, we're good to go. So at this point, point one, like literally 1.0 workflow is ready. That's the first step, bare minimum for anyone watching. You should have one of the 1.0s launched.
Yeah. But one quick note on that, Will, just so that you guys know, the reason why we set up the text in campaigns is because, URLs are not very friendly on Instagram and TikTok, but we are all about encouraging you guys to post content and get people to message you on social media. One of the cool ways that we can do that now is by setting up a text in campaign where they text the word Medicare to your Agent CRM number. And that's what we've set up. So before we would say, you can do this, like, this is so cool and fun. But it was kind of, people would have to go through the process of setting it up. And so what we did with these new bundles, every single one has these new text in campaigns. We've picked what we think is a good keyword to use for each product, but by all means, go in there and change it. So like for Medicare, we put Medicare. For IUL, it's IUL, right? So, but call it whatever you wish. So I saw one person who said, text me tax free, and that triggered, his text in workflow. So, have fun with it. Make sure it's, it aligns with your brand. But those leads that come in, you have their phone number. The text in campaign works to grab their lead, requests their email, adds them to the database, and then it cycles them into the new lead workflow, which is designed to get them on your calendar. The whole idea is to get people from your social media who are watching you, following you, learning about you, building trust with you to then take action and then book themselves on your calendar using a method of communication they're comfortable with, which is text messaging. So we got all that set up for you. You just got to take action on it and let people know what to do.
Correct. Some of these might look a little more complicated, like this one. It's got some loops, it got things around. The ones that look more complicated, in most cases, you actually don't have to do anything. So don't get overwhelmed when you see something like this. It's got what's called go-to steps and if-else conditions. That's kind of more intermediate automation. But the point is, a lead comes in somehow, and just like in the other one, at the very end, it's being added to the next stage. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it follows that progression. So here, add to 2.0, once we get the details, we've got their email, because they texted in, we need their email too. We maybe need their name. It's going to add them once that is complete. Anything you want to add, Alex, before I jump
No,
on
that's
to
it.
two?
That's perfect. Sean asked a really good question. When you upload a bundle, in order to utilize it, I need to create the triggers. So just uploading the bundle like doesn't turn it on. But that's actually that's a great question. Great point of confusion. Inside of Agent CRM, you can actually manually add people to a workflow on the contact screen. You can add them to the workflow there. And then boom, they'll start getting everything. So what I advise people to do is, like, for example, the Medicare Branning Bundle. It's new as of like 2 months ago. And so there are two like main categories of people that are in your database if you've been talking to them about Medicare. One, people who are already clients. So in that case, you could add them to your referral, right? So they're a new client. You want to ask them for referrals. You're ready to rock and roll. If they're not currently a client, then you can add them to one of two workflows. You can either add them to the nurturing, which is what we designed it for. We want the nurturing to be something that, you can just send out an email every single month, stay top of mind. Or if you want to get a little bit more aggressive with getting these people on your calendar, you can add them to the new lead campaign. And the new lead campaign, really pushes them, via text and email to get on your calendar. So my one word of note is that if you're adding people that are in your database now to the new lead campaign, you may want to modify some of the first opening messages, because I believe some of the first opening messages reference, hey, you just filled out my form or you just requested information. And in this hypothetical use case, they didn't. Like, they're just in your database and you want to push them to get on your calendar. So so let me know if that helps you out, Sean. That's a great question. You don't have to add a trigger. You can just manually add them in there and you're good to go.
Yeah. The last thing I'll cover in relation to Jennifer's question, if you have leads for the same product from more than one source, you would just add multiple triggers. You can have as many triggers in one workflow as you want. Some of our campaigns, we've got 15 plus triggers. That's excessive, but you might find a use for more than 2 or 3, of course. So let's just cover that again. You're just going to add more trigger actions. So if you have different lead vendors, there is no universal tag list. They have not gotten together and confirmed this is the standard tag across lead vendors. So they're probably going to have something like, UL Kaboom lead, IUL lead heroes lead, and you just, let's just throw in a bunch of here, add tag, contact tag added. I'm just going to throw some random ones just to illustrate. You can see now all of a sudden we've got, let's just add a bunch of random ones to see. The branches can just continue outwards and more ways can bring in to the same campaign. So, okay, so we've talked about coming into the campaign. Now we're going to go on to the meat of the call today, 2.0. Now, there are always a few bonus ones. I've tried to tuck them away because drafted ones, these are extras. If it's got an asterisk, you definitely have to edit something. all of these, so you've got to make some modifications if you're using Lead Boost, if you're using Agent AI, Google Analytics. But the main thing is always going to be 2.0 purple, your product, new lead campaign. So this was originally called a lead velocity. That was Alex's kind of design in this. One of the things you'll notice is we've got sticky notes now, super new feature, and coming soon, all of our workflows will have, if needed, programs and the tasks related to it. Even in this one, you can actually watch a full training. So I'll probably repeat some of what was covered in there. But this is where things start to get exciting, because this is going to be a campaign that sends texts and emails in a somewhat fast-paced mode to try to push to a calendar. Just making sure I'm keeping up with questions here. So you could add this based on, really anyone could come into this, but just be aware of what is the language that you're sending. I'm going to briefly talk through some of the actions. We did add a drip mode. This is super important because some of you get so excited. You're like, automation. This is to frame the conversation. This can really help scale your business. But if you get too excited, you add 5,000 contacts to this campaign, you blast them. A bunch of people say, stop. Like, I don't want your text messages. Sean says, I made that mistake. A lot of our users have made that mistake. And we're trying to limit your ability to damage your reputation through some adjustments to the system. This new drip mode is huge. So drip mode is kind of like a throttle. It's like a governor on a vehicle. It limits how much you can send. You have full control over this, just so you're aware. 125 a day in batches. If you are a existing user, and if you're confident in the size of your or the quality of your leads, by all means increase this. 200, 300, totally. But for new users, I've got a few people who are only a few weeks in. This is specifically for new users. There's called a ramp up period where you develop a texting or sender reputation. It's 100 for the first limit, then 250, and then 400. So you actually can't send more than 180 the first day. You've got to reach your limit, you get suspended. Next day, your limit raises. So this has been intentionally designed so that if you add 1,000 people, it will help you scale up without getting in trouble or missing too many texts. I hate that I have to explain that. There's so many things to learn, but I hope that was helpful for some people. But yeah, definitely change it if you've got a strong list and if you've already passed your ramp up period. Remember those bonus ones that I showed you, 2.1? They were all on draft. Nothing's going to happen with these 4 actions unless you turn them on. They're just here for your convenience. You can even see in the note, I left that here. They're not required, they're extra. But the main standard here of a lead velocity or new lead campaign, we start with the notes just for tracking. We love clean data. We love note taking. So leave notes. We're going to just, hey, we added them to this campaign. Then we're going to add them to a pipeline where you can see in columns, opportunities or pipelines, we can see where they're at. This is where the fun begins. Every campaign is going to have an email and a text. Wait 2 days, email and text. Wait 2 days, text, wait 2 days, email, text, wait 2 days. Everything is fully customizable. But what the people we're trying to do here is when a lead is especially warm and hot, it's like driving a car off of a car lot. How many of you know the moment you drive your car off the car lot, it depreciates in value? So right away, you've purchased a lead, or you've got a new Facebook campaign running, or you just paid Kaboom or Lead Heroes for a bunch of new leads. But if you cannot move them to action quickly, that lead's going to go stale. You're going to be wasting your money on those leads. You're trying to get them quick. Get them into your Facebook calendar. Anything that you want to add, Alex, about the mindset behind these campaigns?
Yeah, the reason I initially called it lead velocity is it is so important to move really fast, like Will's saying. And a cheat code to moving really fast is using Agent AI to do that. Agent AI is, if you have already set up Agent AI in your account, can you put the number one? I'm curious how many of our people on this call have set up Agent AI. That's a huge, huge win. I'm a huge believer in it. So Agent AI uses natural human language to respond and engage your prospects. And it can respond not only over text or email, but also over social media channels, which is an incredible way to stay in contact with people that are reaching out to you. So, but yeah, I mean, it's when you get a new lead, we see this on our side too, right? So we see people, right now we have people that are coming to the Agent CRM website. They're exploring the site. They're, maybe starting the process of filling out a free trial form, and then they don't fill in the credit card info to complete the free trial. Well, that's a really hot lead. But as Will explain, that the lead value or their likeliness of taking action goes down pretty dramatically after 48 hours if they have not come back to the page to fill out the credit card for that free trial. Right? It's very, very low. Our odds are low to convert them if we haven't converted them within 48 hours. So, because by that point they're on to the next thing in their mind. They're moving on to the next tool that engages their curiosity. Same thing with you guys,
Yeah.
right? So
There's some great stats, like studies that I think it's the first 5 minutes.
yep.
There's a huge business study on leads and their action taking. The ability to
Mhm.
qualify and contact a lead within the first 5 minutes, that is huge. And if you don't reach out to them, yes, we can still nurture them with this campaign and the long term, but you using the automation, but also taking manual actions. When you get that text, hey, a new lead's come in, don't just rely on AI. Don't just rely on these texts and emails. Actually give them a call. Hey, just saw you filled in that form. Would love to connect on a meeting, but I just want to ask some initial questions and see if we're going in the right direction here. I'm just going to take a sidetrack for a moment. Some of you are wondering about AI. You can go to either the link that Alex got. You can either do self-paced, watch the videos, or you can work with our expert team to get it a little more dialed in. But if you go to support options, training videos, there's going to be a shortcut to the Agent AI guide. Again, this is self-paced, and this is a great starter place. But there's so much. AI is like a new employee. It does need to be trained. So I will say that it's going to be as good as the information you give it. It needs to know about your business. It needs to know about how you want to engage or not engage. And also for Medicare, especially, I would definitely steer you towards the assisted help because ACA and Medicare are so many more compliance concerns, and we want to make sure your agent AI is trained for your industry.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
uh, Okay, so new lead campaigns, we'll go back to that again. Leave a note, add to nurture stage, and then email one. So we've designed these with some copywriters. We've also used just GPT for some of the stuff to flesh it out. But the goal of every single one of the new lead text specifically and new lead emails, push to calendar. So let's just check the first one together. If you guys are using a Branning Bundle, you'll notice that the email looks kind of ugly until you hit preview. Now that actually looks even more ugly because I've used some wonky colors. I've messed around with it. But if you filled in the customizer, your logo, your CTA color, and your footer color there. There's also some additional stuff. You see, I've called myself His Majesty in this one. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to the customizer and change that. I can't continue with those colors. Customizer,
We
branding.
love design
That's where
too much.
branding is.
Yeah.
Rectangular logo. Um, let's do this one. Upload.
Nice.
Storm Blessed Life. Any Way of Kings on this call? would love to know. Let's actually do logo. If I've ever done a demo, seen a demo of mine, I like to include some of my favorite pop culture inclusions. Take the color here. There is customizer training, so I'm just gonna zip through this piece, but I'm trying to grab a CTA color. Yeah, and then I'm gonna grab, there's an ad, this is sponsored by, not. Let's add that charcoal gray. It's close enough. Okay, so that should be good for the purpose of this illustration. I'm gonna go back to automations.
Now that he did that, every
to
single
IULs.
email and every single page on the funnel, both Medicare and IUL, have now been updated with those colors in that logo. So you don't have to be like, man, I got to go in and edit all these. No, like you update the customizer, every single email, every single funnel step is now changed, which is amazing. So he did that in like 2 minutes, and now his entire marketing engine has been changed just from that. So that was one of this is when something that Will and the team have been working on for a while with the customizer and then the bundles that are customizer friendly. I mean, how cool was that, right? And so in the same way, you can go in and you can go into the customizer and add in all your social media links, and then boom, like now your social media links are modified every single funnel step, every single email. So yeah, so I highly recommend, if you have not already taken the time to fill in every single piece of that customizer, go ahead and do that. And then that's gonna go across every single piece of the marketing engine. So yeah. And then
everything is fully
yeah.
customizable.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
see even things like, adding a video to the landing page, or add, I want to just finish up with the new lead campaign. I'm not going to do every email or every text, but just to give an example, and then we can jump to the video, because it is cool to see how all these assets fit together. But what you do here, click on the email, you click edit, and just review the language. Make sure it sounds like you. We're pretty confident in its ability to convert leads, but you might say, hey, I want to throw in a testimonial in here. Or, hey, I want to throw in, I want to shorten, I want to change some language. Or maybe you're like, hey, the IUL bundle, it's great, but I sell this product and you haven't released a branding bundle on it, and I've been asking for a few months. Well, we've got a development schedule, but you can still take action yourself. Whether it's changing to fit your tone, let's even just take this. I've taken this email. I'm going to go into Chat GPT here, and I'm going to say, hey, I am selling IULs, and I've got an email that I want to rewrite. It sounds too formal. I want it to sound silly and a little bit funny. And I'm actually a big Simpsons fan. Can you throw some Simpsons references in there too? Here's my template.
Nice.
So I've given it a prompt. I like to use speech to text. I've thrown in the exact email. Sure, here's a fun and slightly silly rewrite from the Simpsons flair or donut in there. Thanks for reaching out to learn about IULs. You've got questions, and I'm here like Homer with a donut, ready to deliver the goods. I like that personally. I would maybe give it some more prompts or tweak it. But I'm username, your friendly neighborhood IUL expert. I'm here to make this process so easy. Yeah, you can see sometimes the prompts need to be tweaked. But it really did answer according to our prompts. Together, we'll find a plan that's perfect for you, whether you're a Springfield power plant worker or running your own quickie mart. Tone it down a bit. So I just wanted to show Chat GPT because I'm a big raving AI fan. Yeah, you get the idea. Sometimes you take it and rewrite it a little bit. You like half of it. You keep giving it prompts. There's different ways to use Chat GPT to shortcut. Yesterday, we have an integration partner, and we've been stalled because they need to do some stuff. I just asked ChatGPT, give me an email. I gave it the specs, and I gave our partner a fully pre-written email. And the partner, they said, "Oh, Will, thank you so much. You just saved me an hour of work." Like it only took me 5 minutes. So it saved me an hour of work too, because I use ChatGPT to do it. Now I am tweaking, I am personalizing. Sometimes you do it and you're like, that doesn't sound like a human. So that's just a little trick, a little hack for modifying 10 ml content. But you're going to make any changes here, change it, change it. I don't say best regards, I say all the best. You're going to hit save, and you've just modified your email. Now check the subject line. Do you want to change that? Text, same deal. For some of you, actually adding a picture. I'm going to add my Hurley. I use Lost themed demo and other ones. Using your photo in the first text is a great way to build connection. Alex, I know this is your tip, so I don't want to steal it. What do you want to share here?
No, that's that you're on the right track. Really. So what we have found is that when a lead comes in and you include your photo in that initial text that goes out, that really helps to build connection. And we have found that when people use a photo, not only on this workflow here, but even more on the appointment confirmation. If you include text here, you're going to get a slight increase in the number of people that take action. We haven't seen a big bump, but it is a small one. However, when you include photos on the appointment confirmation workflow, first to confirm the appointment, use a professional headshot. Second, on the second text that goes out that says, hey, we're talking tomorrow, include either a photo with your family or you doing a hobby. And then in the third one, the one that goes out 30 minutes before, it'd be a photo of you holding your phone saying, I'm calling you from this number. The appointment show up rate skyrockets. And so we've seen some people have reported 30% more. Others have reported twice as many people show up to their calls. The biggest thing is number one, only sending 3 text messages. Because if there's too many texts before the appointment, it's too high pressure. People don't want to deal with a high pressure salesperson. The second thing is the photos. It builds that relationship. Now they're putting a face to a name. You're not just text messages coming across on their phone. They see you, they see your face, they see you with your family or enjoying a hobby. And then with you holding your phone, like that signals intent. They're like, okay, like he's about to call me right now, or she's about to call me right now. So I better be ready to pick up the phone. When you include those photos, then you're going to just see more people taking action. So, Corey, does the photo have to be a headshot or can it be a company logo? Headshot. People buy insurance from people. We want them to know who you are. In the same way that and you guys may have noticed this, but our advertising for Agent CRM has changed pretty dramatically at the start of this year. Before this year, it was actually between probably last October until March, there was a lot of I took myself out of the ads. I was like, I don't want to be the face of Agent CRM. I don't want people to think that they need to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? We're a big company now, and we noticed that when we took me out, when we took out a person and there's no face to the brand, then we saw fewer conversions. We saw, less engagement with our support team. But when we put me back in, and it didn't have to be me, but people know me already. When we put me back in and there was a face,
and you've got that blue suit.
Yeah, I got the blue suit. You know what I'm saying? Like Will and I, we had some fun with that photo shoot. But when we put me back in, then they're like, okay, there's Alex, and so now there's a face to the software. And so we just saw better conversions. It seemed like we got a lot more people signing up, showing up to training calls, things like that. So anyway, that's a super long answer to your question, Corey. But what we have found is that even a well-established brand like Agent CRM gets better results when there's a face to the brand. So I highly recommend sending a headshot.
Yeah. So I've shown you emails, I've shown you texts. Again, just be aware of what's being sent on your behalf, because if you're adding people to the 1.0 and they're dripping into here. Or if you tag them, you can see here the tag is also a trigger. It's going to send this on your behalf. So just be aware, we've written stuff for you, and you could automatically send it. And we believe and we trust that this stuff you'll be happy with. But you'll notice here, thanks for requesting information. This is like hot leads who just filled in a form. So if you want to change this, like again, another option here, let's just go back to ChatGPT. I want to modify this text message. It says that they've taken an action like filling in a form, but I'm actually using this text to send to a list that hasn't taken action. Can you modify it for me, please? And then I'm going to paste. I'm reaching out because I'd love to help you explore IUL's plans. Help find the best plan for you and your family. So you can see it's given a great, oh, still taking there. You can see it's given a great modification. And we're just going to paste it. Remove insurance. Do a little bit of formatting. I'm big on formatting here. So you get the idea. Save on the bottom right, save on the top right. And now we've modified that text so it's more generic to not be based on an action that they've taken. However, people who have taken action are going to be the best results, because if you blast a list, are you not sure, are they cold, are they warm? If they reply, stop, you could potentially exceed. If you exceed 2%, your texting will be suspended for a day. Carriers do not like spam, and it sends a spam message. So just be mindful. What kind of language are you using? How quickly are you texting them? Maybe if you are sending to an active list and you want to modify this campaign, you could actually just duplicate it. You could have a new lead campaign, and you could use this template as just a rapid fire to warm leads. If you're going to do that, maybe you want to change it to 3 days, just so you're not kind of harassing people. You want to kind of be like, I'm here. Hey, you need some help? I'm your guy. Rather than, you just filled in a form, let's get on a call. There's all sorts of ways you can modify the wait steps, the emails, the language. But that is pretty much the gist of this. The only thing to note here, at the end of this sequence, I believe it is a month sequence here. It's going to be moved into a long-term, kind of warm, cold, nurturing campaign. So that's 2.5. You guys review that on your own just to see. It's not as much a call to action, like get on a calendar. It's more, hey, here's helpful information about the product, just to try to keep them warm, and hopefully they respond. Some of the emails have buttons linking to a calendar. But we want to show the website. I'm sure we might have some questions too in the last 10 minutes, but one thing I will note, if you have a Branning Bundle, for the emails and text to work, you must fill in the account customizer calendar section. Those buttons, schedule a call, we don't know where they should point to unless you tell it. So you're going to copy your link into the corresponding, we'll add more as we build more bundles, but you're going to add it in this section. You find that from this training in the CRM training, but you grab the calendar link, speak with your Medicare agent, share, copy it, back to the customizer. Super, super easy. Just make sure that you do this if you send your campaigns, because I would hate for you to send a campaign and no one would book a call. What's wrong? The system's not working. You missed a step. So, Alex, what do you want to do? I got 10 minutes here.
Oh man, I would love to hear, and I'm totally putting everyone on the spot right now, but Sean, Corey, Jen, Antonio, John, all y'all that are here, could you do me 2 favors? Number one, can you show them how to get to that feedback link? Will, I would love to have feedback on this meeting. You can even say, man, this meeting was not at all what I anticipated, a waste of time. That's totally fine. Like we receive the negative feedback because it helps us get better. But if you have positive feedback, please post it in the feedback here. And then if you're willing please copy the feedback that you have and post it in the Facebook group, positive or negative. Reason being, we want these drop-in trainings to be, we want our users to know about it, number one. And if it's positive feedback, we really want them to know, like, hey, y'all, jump in here and, be a part of this. If it's negative feedback, totally fine. Share the negative feedback. As you guys have seen in our group, we do not delete posts that are negative feedback. If it goes over the line and
I
it
delete
becomes
some, to be honest.
complaining, there's a difference,
I
right?
delete
Negative
some.
feedback. Yeah. Negative feedback is like, hey, I went on this, didn't really work out too well. Here's what you can do, all you can do to fix it. That's constructive criticism.
Yes.
We leave that up, right?
Thank you.
If it's just like negative feedback, like y'all suck, this is stupid, then we'll delete it because like there's no point to that conversation. So, but if there's a point to it, we'll keep it up. So anyway, all that to say, please leave some feedback.
Yeah.
That is so helpful to us because we cannot improve unless we get positive feedback, or unless we get any
Yes.
feedback, right? We need feedback to
Helpful
get better.
feedback.
That's the data we need. And then, like I said,
Yeah.
if you guys
So
are
you guys can
willing,
find
I would
that.
love for you to post in the group. Like, hey, I went on that first training. I'm an action taker. I was there. Here's how
Maybe
it
share a
was.
tip. Share a tip that you learned.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So direct link in there, but I want you to know support options, submit feedback is where you can find it anytime you want. Whether it's after a call, maybe you had a call with Ali and you want to say, hey, Ali, here's some tips. You did 8. Here's how I think you did on this. If you guys want feedback, if you want your feedback to impact the development of Agent CRM specifically, this is where you do it. Some people, no one in this room, I'm sure, feel like because Facebook is a public place, I can rant and moan about my problems and that will get me attention. I'm going to tell you right now, this is the main place I'm looking. So not people in this room. I know that you guys are super great about feedback. Whoever else is watching, if you really want to be taken to heart with your comments, this is like a really great place because it helps me on the operations side to see feedback in one consolidated place. Facebook, not the best place because it's one long stream and I lose track of all that info. So submit, we're going to add probably a few things like training so you can have a drop down training, but what do you want to learn? Keep dropping in the future. These live calls, we're going to change them up. We kind of just look at your feedback and say, oh, a lot of people asked about this. Alex, it sounds like we need to do a funnel or website one, maybe as one of the next sessions coming up. So,
yep. So you guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys showing up to this very first training call. Amazing. I will have to hop off here in just a moment. I'm about to do a live workshop with Oscar. We're going over Medicare and ACA ads, how to launch, the targeting, all that. So if you guys are wanting to join, I will post that link in the Facebook group so y'all can jump in there. We will be recording it so you can watch the replay later. I'll be posting the replay inside of the Facebook group as well. We'll be doing a free workshop with Oscar in just a moment here. So I'm going to jump off. Will, this is Will's baby. Thank you, Will, for the idea. This is going to be super fun. You guys will see us here. We'll be here on a regular basis. So next week we'll be right back inside of this Zoom room. So, I'll see you guys on the free workshop, and I'll see you guys at our next training call. So thanks, guys.
Bye for now.